So, now I've put on more fantasy-inspired type of leather armor. As you can see, it has a lot of random influences. It could be considered studded leather armor or even battle rager armor from D&D, or basically it's more inspired from the Witcher series, the video games. I unfortunately haven't played the video games, but I've watched the TV series. Not the new remake, the original, the Polish version, because I'm Eastern European and that shit was on TV when I was a kid.
The Witcher games have quite unique armor, some more practical than the others, but usually with sound principles such as combining padded, leather and mail to balance each other out. Same can't be said with the TV series. That is just awful. Ugh.
I'm here presenting more fantastical version of leather armor. Yes, this studded leather armor didn't really exist in history, but it has some practicality, and we can use, for example, actual studded armor, studded cloth armor, the coat of 1,000 nails as example, that yes, it can be done and can be practical. And we can also use real-life examples of leather breastplates or other. For example, Mongolians also have really interesting different styles of hardened leather with plates and metal rivets. Or we can just say it's practically looks cool and can be used as armor. Of course, it's not as protective as actual steel armor, but it can be leather armor, like full plate leather armor can be as protective as lesser, lighter metal armor. If it's thick enough, if it's hardened properly, and if we are playing in fantasy fields, we can make leather armor from, like, I don't know, hide of a powerful beast or mythical creature or something like that, and also use some fantastical methods of how we are hardening it, because in practicality you actually can harden cloth and other fibrous material, like you can harden leather, so you could play around with that idea. But in practicality, leather armor can be as practical and as useful as other types of armor. You can justify it with more fantastical creativity if you want to, but for example in Witcher style of armor can be practical, especially fighting beasts.
Studded armor is a tough topic, especially spiked armor. Studs on their own won't do much protecting, but it's a great way to hold multiple layers of leather or padding together. See Indian coat of 1,000 nails.
The rivets here are actually holding multiple layers of padding underneath, so basically this is a thick padded armor.
Spiked armor is a hard one. Most argue that it's impractical in war and adding too much makes it more dangerous to the wearer, which is all true. It's not practical for a formation of soldiers to have spikes on them. They'd be hurting each other more than the enemy. But most adventuring heroes don't go into the military. They go on quests to fight monsters and bandits.
I wouldn't say it's really realistic, but technically there were bear hunting armors that had a bunch of spikes on them to protect from bear bites and claws, so maybe a bit practical if you're hunting bears and beasts.
Spiked armor is great against animals. Porcupines and hedgehogs evolved spikes independently for a reason. Spiked suits of leather and nails have been used to wrangle bears in Siberia, and of course fighting dogs wear spiked collars to protect their necks from other animal bites. Same principle can work with a Witcher-style beast hunter. Also, spikes are very intimidating and can work in physical fights against goons, but it has a lot of drawbacks, most importantly catching blades and absorbing force. So put spikes on in moderation, mostly where a beast might bite you.
So in conclusion, leather is an interesting material to use. It's not a type of armor, it's a material that can be used to make lighter and even different type of heavy armor. And of course, leather armor was historically used, especially in Europe, for padding purposes. As you can see, I have here lamellar armor, but it was of course used for gambeson, for example. In lamellar armor, leather is used as backing and padding, but in brigandine style of armor, it would be in reverse, where leather is used as a type of armor that is holding the metal splints in place and much tougher together. And of course, it can be used as underlining and padding for even full plate armor. So leather armor is really cool. You can use it creatively, and as long as it's not like a leather bikini and Callington armor. Thank you for watching. Do the usual like, subscribe, comment. It really helps me out. I'm very grateful for you watching. Actually, I'm genuinely thank you. Take care.